It's Monday. It's Raw. Lots of stuff happened. Go home show. Elimination. Wargames this weekend. Exciting times. We're getting to it. This is DA Wrestling. I'm Andrew. This is Doug. We're going on it. Let's go. On today's show, IC title is now debuted on Raw. Let's see. Wargames has 2 more new matches now added to the card. We're getting on SmackDown this week. We're getting Jacob Fatu versus Jey Uso. Happy days. New Day is slowly imploding and should happen next week. Judgment Day beat the War Raiders barely. Let's see. We have a good idea. I have a good idea who might have been the one that put Jade Cargill through the car window on Friday. And Gunther gets put through a table. And, well, the LWO lose to Alpha Academy. We get to some carrying across as well because that stuff's funny as hell.
And the New Day have possibly the best promo segment of the year.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that too in the New Day part. But first, we're going to start off today with possibly the new 5th member of the team after what happened on tonight's Raw. And it's Bayley by the looks of it. Doug,
Oh, it's gonna be Bayley. I saw the spoilers because
yeah,
SmackDown. For those that don't know, I mentioned it last Monday, but there's going to be a bit more taped additions. They taped this week's SmackDown last week. Bayley is going to be the 5th member.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense considering what happened on Raw tonight.
Well, and it also makes sense when you consider the story playing out in general, as Bayley's been fighting Nia and Tiffany for the last pretty much since SummerSlam.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it made sense to insert Bayley into this matchup now on a more serious side.
What did you think of Bayley's match between Nia Jax and Belair?
It was good for what it was.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was fine.
I mean, look, I love Nia Jax. It's improved. I do.
Yeah.
But there's certain people that she gets in the ring with and it just doesn't click, or it just doesn't do anything for me personally.
Belair's one of them?
Belair's one of them. Like,
fair enough.
I don't know. It's like, listen, I could watch Belair go in there with just about anybody and have a good match. And it's just, I don't know, the combination of her and Nia, I don't know, just doesn't do much for me. But yeah, so on the more serious side of things, we saw on Friday, Jade Cargill was taken out, and WWE listed off a laundry list of injuries, if you will, from falling onto the hood of this car.
Yeah.
Including a sprained MCL.
Okay.
The legitimate side of it is Jade is dealing with a neck injury. This is from Fightful Select.
Mm-hmm.
She's dealing with they said an injury, but it's starting to come out now that it's possibly a neck injury that could sideline her between 3 months and a full year.
Well, they're taking neck injuries a lot more serious nowadays, considering many people have gone out because of neck injuries. So I'd probably say 3 months right now. Probably safe. Bet, most likely, more than likely.
Now, my answer of who did it depends on how long Jade's out.
Because I think, I said guys at SmackDown, it looks like we found out who did that to Jade. But judging by how it happened on Raw tonight, I think it was Belair that did
it. If Jade's back by WrestleMania, you're going to get the Triple H Shawn Michaels 2002 build-up.
Yeah. The camera angle, stuff like that. The whole.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh yeah, you're gonna see the security camera, and it's gonna be except we don't live in 2002 anymore, so it's not gonna be super grainy. It's just gonna straight up show it was Bianca.
Yeah, I think it was Belair because when she was like on her way to the ring tonight for a match versus Nia Jax, she melted out. I'm on my own, right? And like She mentioned how she did.
I think she was just singing her song.
She did, but she really mouthed towards the camera as well. So I've been feeling that. Plus, it's either that or they're going to push towards, because I know they had a segment today with her and Rhea Ripley too. They kind of dropped a little seed possibly for Mania as well with Ripley.
So that's what I'm saying. If Jade is back for Mania, Bianca did it.
Yeah.
If she's out longer than that, I could see Naomi.
See, Naomi right now is posted on a lot of people have been craving on crap.
I know.
Right?
I was
Now,
paying attention to this throughout the weekend.
I mean, you could also even throw Bayley into the mix as well. You know, so because Bayley all of a sudden now will be the 5th member, and you can tell
Hold on.
Belair's going to be a little.
I have one issue with that.
I understand. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it in there.
I know it's a possibility.
The situation.
Listen, I get it. It's a possibility.
Yeah.
However, the only reason why I don't think it's Bayley is because they worked so hard for people to actually give a fuck about Bayley as a babyface.
Yeah.
For them to throw it away in less than a year or a little over a year doesn't seem to make much sense to me.
Fair.
I think it would be too soon to turn her back.
No.
So, I mean, that's kind of where my booking brain goes.
That's cool. And I'm just throwing Bayley out there because of what happened tonight. How she's going to be probably the 5th member of the thing. And you know, Belair is going to probably throw everything on Bayley anyway, right? So it's going to lead you to that one too. So possible suspect will probably be Belair. Suspect number 2.
Right now,
Naomi.
Right now, Bianca's the number 1 suspect.
Yeah, number 2 would be Naomi. Number 3, I'd say, would be Bayley.
I don't even think I have a third.
The third one could possibly be like, Nia Jax that really did it, but she has an alibi. So, could be Raquel as well. So, we do have some suspects, but I think it's pretty safe to say it's probably Belair.
Who ran over Stone Cold? This will not be.
Yeah. We got some interesting news though too. Raw has decided to counter the U.S. Women's Title Tournament with the IC title debut for the women, and boy, that title looked pretty. It's quite nice, actually. I like the white.
I'm just confused. I'm confused that they announced it before the show.
Whatever.
Like they showed the video.
Yep.
And I'm like, wait a minute, did I accidentally skip over this? And then I read a tweet from Sean Ross Sapp. He's like, no, Raw's not on tape delay. They actually announced it before the show.
Yeah. So that's interesting though. Who are your early picks for the IC Women's Champion right now? First one.
Io Sky.
Wow. Really ride that Io Sky wagon, aren't you?
She's my sweetheart.
Yeah, you got a thing for that sweet little Japanese girl, don't you? I mean, she's cute as shit. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm more of an Oscar guy, but
Actually, she's got to be coming back soon, don't you think?
I think the Rumble Oscar will be back. I would almost want to. You know what? IC title. I almost want to pencil Oscar in there, but my early prediction right now, which could possibly change,
is Bianca Belair a SmackDown superstar?
She is.
Okay, so if anything, she'll be part of the.
She already lost the
US.
She lost the women's thing.
Okay. So she lost the U.S. title thing.
She lost it on Friday to Chelsea Green and Brother Davenport match.
Actually, if it's not Io, I could see it being one of them from our favorite faction.
Judgment Day.
PFC.
Actually, I'm going to go on a limb here.
Shayna Baszler?
That'd be a good idea, actually.
Or Zoe Stark?
Depending on how it works out, I almost want to say Alexa Bliss if she comes back early enough.
Ooh. Did you see like I don't know if we've talked about this on camera, but did you see everything she's been going through since she had the kid?
I haven't really looked at her Instagram.
No, she like apparently she was dealing with like skin cancer and shit.
Ooh, lovely.
Yeah, but it's all healed up now, and yeah,
I hope she's all good.
I I think I'm thinking Bliss is going to be a Rumble
That's
return.
probably what I'm guessing too. But I would like to see Alexa Bliss maybe go in that tournament if she can. It depends on obviously her health and all sorts of things too. Um, we got 2 matches also announced now for War Games. 2 more. We're getting LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura. God, give it to Shinsuke. I hope he wins.
I haven't got a chance to speak on this.
Okay.
I love Shinsuke's new look.
Yeah, so do I. I hope he wins. Lord, give it to him. Give him the U.S. title. It'd be fantastic.
Oh yeah, LA Knight. His I'm not saying his momentum's dead,
No.
but I care a lot less now that he's
Yeah.
not chasing.
Yeah. And we're also getting the banger of a banger. We're getting
Dude, that
Sheamus
is
versus
going to be
Braun
a banger.
Breaker versus Kaiser.
That is going to be a banger.
Be a
Triple
hell of a
threat.
good match. You also has a hell of a good time too. Make sure you like, share, subscribe down below there, guys. Somewhere on this side over here. Right? Make sure you follow us there on Podbean, right? Spotify. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on the side here there. Small click for you, big click for us. We thank you very much for all the support. Here's a little click there. Thanks you very much. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Braun Breaker, Sheamus, Kaiser match. That's gonna be. I mean, obviously the War Games match, men's will be the biggest one of the night. I'm gonna say it's number 2.
I'll be okay. If you want to segue into this,
Go. I'm gonna segue
what's
into
the
this.
what's the over under for how long this War Games match is going to be? Do you think it's going to be over an hour or under an hour?
I think the women's is under an hour, men's is an hour.
I think the men's might be over an hour.
Good point.
There's a lot to dissect here,
There.
and I mean, I know it's been a minute since we've kind of gotten together here, but um, first of all, Punk coming back with the help of Heyman was not something I had on my bingo card.
No, we both. I even said on
I
our.
had
We had Seth.
completely, as I tend to do with CM Punk, I had completely wiped him from the existence of my brain when we
Yep.
were trying to figure out who was going to be the fifth man here.
Yep.
I was adamant it was going to be Seth.
I think we were both adamant it was Seth. I think everybody on the face of the planet, for the most part, thought it was going to be Seth.
Especially with the Bronson Reed connection.
Absolutely. So the Punk thing kind of came out of nowhere.
But
Not really.
I think that also means Seth might be getting involved in War Games.
Possibility.
For 2 reasons. 1, he's not done with Bronson Reed.
No.
2, he's not done with CM Punk. And 3, do you remember what he said to Solo Sikoa a couple weeks ago? The next time he sees Roman Reigns, he's going to stomp his head in. I could see Seth coming in, taking out Reed, and then just take out Roman, and then Punk gets in his face and he'll eat one too.
So you're saying the new bloodline wins?
Oh, this is an easy one for the new bloodline to win, but it's kind of already 1-1, right? It's 1-1.
It kind of is. And on SmackDown this week, we're getting the advantage match. We're getting what we've kind of wanted for a little bit here. Jey Uso
Jay versus Jake.
versus Jacob Fatu. SmackDown match tonight for sure, by far.
If they give them time, if this is going to be like a 10-15 minute closing segment of a match, it's not going to be that good. But if they give this thing time, I'm all about it.
I think Fatu has to just smash the hell out of him. Yeah.
I actually no. You know
Dominant,
what?
smash the hell out of him.
I think. I think what would make the most sense
Yep.
to show that, like, the OG bloodline is like in full control now.
Yep.
Have them win the advantage.
Yeah.
Have
I think
Jay
that used to
beat.
smash
Have
Jacob.
Jay beat Jacob.
Yeah.
It could be with interference
It's going
because,
to be probably with interference. They're going to probably protect Jacob Fatu like he's the golden goose.
but they may do what they did with tonight's match, where all the remaining members of the War Games match is banned from ringside.
Yeah.
They may do that. So, and we're gonna get a face to face with Punk and
Punk and
Roman
Roman. That
to
should be
kind of
interesting.
kind of flesh things out. But I've been thinking a lot about it this weekend, and you can point back to that segment in June
Yep.
with Heyman pretty much begging Punk to take him with him,
Yeah.
and it was kind of like, now Punk's kind of just doing Paul a solid.
Remember what Punk said? He's about the words. I'm not here for you. I'm here for him.
Right.
So
Right.
it's
But I don't think he has beef with Roman. And
no, I
here's
don't
the
think
thing
I
I
don't
was
think
seeing
it's at
here's the
all.
thing I was seeing online too, right? Especially on TikTok. It was like a lot of people were like, Punk's the only one in the locker room that wasn't around for Roman's huge title reign.
Yeah, it's true. He's the only one that can get a crack kicked out of him.
He's the only one that didn't get got by the bloodline.
Very true. He's the only
Really,
one.
like he's the only main event guy or semi main event guy that did not get got by the bloodline.
Yeah.
So it makes even more sense
Yeah.
that, you know, although I find it hilarious that, through all this crusade with Seth, I think if Seth would literally just walk up to Roman and be like, I'm sorry for 10 years ago and turning you into this, how much healing that would do.
You know what, therapist Doug? You might be right there. A simple "I'm sorry" always helps. You know, a little sorry helps with 10 years ago
I
wounds.
mean, you got jokes with the therapist line, but I do work in social work.
True, it would help. You know who does need a therapist though? The New Day, because they are imploding like hell.
Oh, they need couples therapy.
Oh yeah, right. Now, what you watched that segment, right? A
Mm-hmm.
lot of things were said that were kind of like, whoa. Like, for instance, Kofi losing in 6 seconds to Brock, right? The reason why Big E and Kofi won championships is because Woods can't get it done. He's not good enough. Like, a lot of crap was said.
Woods kicking E in the balls next week is
Oh,
going to
yeah.
hit like crack.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of crying babies and crying parents and everybody who love the news.
This turn is going to hit like crack. I've been saying it all summer.
You think this turn, now, if this, depending on how this turn goes, we don't know how this turn is going to turn out. Would you rank that above the Shield turn?
Ooh. It depends on the follow up with Woods.
Yeah.
If this results in Woods like climbing the ladder, he gets the IC title and then he starts fighting for, the world heavyweight title. I think it's a complete success, but you have to understand what you created with Seth Rollins.
Well, and I understand that too. But I'm just saying now. The reason I'm saying like I'm putting it like why
The
I'm saying
moment
it
it
might be
Are you
higher
talking the moment itself?
the moment itself. Now I'm saying the reason because that was shocking for everybody because nobody saw the Shield breaking up.
Right,
This has been
because
kind of working on for a
and
few
it didn't
months now.
make sense at the time
No, but
because the Shield had just come off of beaten Evolution two times in a row.
yep,
So it really didn't make sense for Seth Rollins to turn. I
no,
understand that there was some dissension at the time, but like they were pretty much on top of the world. You could have let that Shield go babyface run for like another year before you do the breakup.
Yeah,
And I've said that for years.
I'm saying that I'm
Here's the thing. You have teased this with the New Day. They've been together for 10 years. They've
That's why
been
I'm wondering if
heels.
would it be bigger impact because they were being along for 10 years,
The
11,
moment
12 fights.
the moment itself will be bigger than the Shield.
Fair enough.
But the shockwaves and the consequences of the Shield breakup,
Was bigger.
nothing will ever top that.
No.
Ever.
And again,
It's the greatest turn in the history of wrestling.
and when you look at it too, that breakup, you look at where all three of those men are now.
That turn
That was the greatest breakup in the history of anything.
turned three of the best superstars of this generation. That turn was then used in a story 6 years later.
Yeah.
Or sorry, 7 years later. And we're still using that 10 years later to fuel this character, which is literally the biggest box office attraction that the wrestling business has ever seen.
Yeah, that
in Roman Reigns.
That backstabbing, that turn, literally launched 3 world champions.
Not just 3 world champions, 3 Hall of Fame caliber superstars.
3 guys who are
what John Moxley's doing in AEW right now,
yep.
and what he has done in the last 5 years in AEW is nothing short of phenomenal. He's put that company on his back.
The fact they were what? Was it last year's PW Insiders Top 100? They were 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Last year's? Yeah. It was like
Roman, they were 1, 2. They were 1, 2, 3.
John, and Seth, right?
Yeah. That I don't think that was. I think that was 22.
Maybe it was 3 years.
I think that was
2 years.
Yeah. But
I know it was recent. It wasn't that far away. I know that.
But I like the fact that we finally, both of them just got everything off their chests.
Yep.
They just both unloaded clips on each other.
Oh, they unload like they went the Cliff Notes version, really hard too.
Yeah. And they covered the whole 10-year story of the New Day in about 3 minutes.
Yeah, literally how Woods came to him, came to Kofi and begged him. And Kofi flat out threw it in his face too. I was already a Hall of Famer before you.
Okay, let's take a step back, Kofi. I know. Let's take a step back, Kofi.
Right, but moving on though. Judgment Day barely beat the War Raiders tonight due to help from Dominic Mysterio, right? Who distracted the referee so Balor could get a little drop down choke under the rope, then have a little cheeky roll up pin on Ivar. Like that, yeah. I don't think we've seen the last.
Can they just lose the titles so that we can start the Judgment Day breakup angle? Because look, okay, actually technically we started it tonight. Because if you caught that line by Finn Balor.
Yep. What happens this is my club kind of thing? Yeah.
No.
Well, he said that.
The one of oh, I know there's no leaders here, but if everyone listens to me.
But when everyone listens to me, we're successful. Yeah. Yeah. It started. You see the look on Don's face, it was just like he's ready to go have some chicken fingers and fries. Go ahead. So Gunther goes through a table at the end of the thing there. Wrestling Logic obviously tells us
Priest is so getting his ass kicked at Survivor Series.
Priest is losing. He's not winning. It's going to be Priest. Priest is going to lose.
Although they have a chance to do the most hilarious thing ever. Do you know how much of a shitstorm on social media it would cause if Damian Priest wins the title on Saturday?
Enlighten me quickly.
Oh my God, the internet would have a fucking meltdown. Because everyone's expecting Gunther to have a similar reign with the world title that he did with the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
And I've said on this show a couple of times, it is not out of the realm of impossibility where Gunther, who has moved up to the main event level now, realizes that he can't just destroy everybody.
No.
And you can, if he loses the title to Priest, you can actually start this like kind of Gunther's got to rebuild, and he drops Kaiser, and he kind of goes back to basics.
Well, you know what? You know what? It's and you can always do. You always bring back that Finn Balor match for the title against Priest.
I mean, that's all done now. I don't want those two.
They'll run it back one more time.
You think they'll run it back one more time?
Because there'll be a title involved this time.
Mm.
And that's fair. They probably run it back one more time just for a title run. Whether or not Balor wins that title, you know what? I say give him a crack at it, let him have it for a little bit. But
well, it all depends on really like.
It depends on what happens on Saturday.
It really does. It depends on what the company sees in Gunther right now.
Yeah. We also had LWO lose to American Made. Good. That's good for American Made. And we had the Alpha Academy, like I said, they beat the New Day, which we talked about in the New Day.
In about 45 seconds.
Yeah, they really did. Quickly though, let's talk Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross, who's just jokes. Nikki Cross ends up attacking Scarlett after the Miz and the rest of the Final Testament leave the room in a really creepy segment where Scarlett's just looking at the mirror, ready to put some makeup on, trying to doll herself up a little more. And Nikki shows up behind the door with a huge smile on her face.
Very reminiscent of The Undertaker.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like where this is going with them. I really do. I mean, I like Cross a lot.
But when they came back,
yeah,
there was a message on the mirror.
Yep.
Everybody has something to lose.
It's true. Everyone does.
I think Scarlett's the next one to get kidnapped.
Oh, that's a good possibility. We're just gonna freak out Cross, and you're gonna start seeing that.
Cross may actually kill a man on live TV.
Yeah. Yeah. Looking forward to it. Can't wait.
Because as much of a sweetheart as the real life person is,
that's the man's wife.
He's created the sinister character.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I can attest. You don't mess with a man's wife.
True. It's true. That, folks, that was Raw for this week. You want to do a quick prediction, or do you want to just run that on another show? You want to do a quick prediction really quickly?
Okay, so there's
a bunch of stuff today anyway. So
yeah, I guess quick prediction. I think Team Rhea wins.
Yeah, I think Team Rhea wins too.
I think that Bloodline 2.0 win.
Way it's looking right now is Bloodline 2.0.
Yeah. I think Braun Breaker retains in very dominant fashion.
Yeah, I don't see Braun right now losing that title at all at this point. Just don't see it.
I think Shinsuke Nakamura becomes the new United States champion.
That's what I'm thinking too.
And I think Gunther just absolutely kills Damian Priest.
Yeah, I think Priest's going to win as well too. I'm not going to, you know what, just for devil's advocate, well, you know what? No, I'm not going to do it. We're going to say stick with what we just said here. All those guys are going to win. The wild card though is the Shinsuke and LA Knight one. But I would almost watch for Kaiser to slowly see. If Kaiser wins the IC title, is it possible that Gunther loses?
No.
No, fair enough.
I mean, as much as we just laid out that whole scenario of if Damian Priest wins.
Yep.
And I kind of made it very convincing.
Yep.
You'd have to think that Gunther's not going to leave any doubt in this rematch.
No, I think Gunther puts him to sleep.
Well, he put him to sleep at SummerSlam with the help of Finn Balor, but
Well, there's gonna be no.
he's gonna do it without the help of Finn Balor this time.
I think he puts him to sleep this time. So by himself, with nobody's help.
Yep.
Anyway, folks, that was DA Wrestling. That was the Raw recap and predictions kind of show. Lots of fun there.
Really quick before we go, apparently Full Gear was pretty weak.
Yeah. Full Gear wasn't, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I predicted it, and I was pretty much right on all accounts. So,
yeah.
So, I mean, but
that's okay. Darby Allin's going to be the next
I think Darby
AEW champion.
I think Darby, yeah, I said that months ago. I think I said that when this thing started with John Moxley. I think Darby Allin's the one that takes the title off of John.
I agree.
I think that's where they crown Darby. Possibly Revolution.
Okay, everybody. Take care.
Take care. Have yourself a good one. Don't forget to follow us on our show. So make sure you do all those lovely things. Spotify, X. We said it all before, folks. We all know where we are. Right? Have yourself a good one there. That's Raw Review. See you for Dynamite's recap. More likely SmackDown. And since me and Doug are getting together on Saturday, maybe I can convince him to do a Saturday night show right here, right away with both of us right here. We'll see what happens. Have a good night, everybody.